Tony. I've got some more on planned giving relationships. You know, as I looked back at the last video, I didn't tell any relationship stories. You know, I talked a lot about starting the relationships and how to get them going, and their value, but I didn't tell any relationship stories. So I got to do part two of the planned giving relationships series, right? You know, I love the women's names from the 30s and 40s when a lot of the women who I work with around planned giving as donors were born. You know, Deirdre, Eleanor, I'm going to talk about Eleanor in a second, Margaret, Gertrude. You know, I love these old nostalgic names. There was a woman, Eleanor, who was a PhD in chemistry. She spent her career doing cancer research. She used to thank me for the way I compose my emails. It was so sweet. I visited her often. She retired to Florida, lived in assisted living, and visited her lots of times. Used to take her to lunch. She was in one of those motorized chairs toward the end of her life. She made one decision that I think she regretted for the rest of her life. She chose an assisted living residence based on the cost, when there were, I think it was 4 of her friends had moved into a different assisted living, but that one was more expensive. And she had the means to afford that place where her friends were. But to save money, she chose the other residence where she didn't know anyone. And I really think she regretted that for years to come. Never made the move to where her friends were. So I guess that's sad, but you know, she had a fulfilling life. Her career, she did get together with her friends in Florida, but because they were close enough for that, but didn't live among them. Think of another woman, Evelyn. She also had the organization in her estate plan. I stayed in touch with her after I even left that was a place where I was working, not as a consultant. Even after I was no longer employed there, I stayed in touch with her. There's another woman, Evelyn, who I know now, just got a diagnosis of pancreatic cancer. So that's a tough battle. I hope she's going to be okay. That's a hard diagnosis to get. There was a woman, Barbara, who all women, but you know, when you do planned giving and you get close to people on a professional level, as I've said in another video about cautioning you about your planned giving relationships, it is going to be mostly women. Women outlive men. Barbara is someone who I also kept in touch with after I left employment. Visited her in assisted living also for years later. Used to take her out for lunch. Yeah, I don't want to talk about where she lived or anything like that. I don't want to, even though she's no longer living, I just don't want to take any chances. But we used to walk a promenade that she liked a lot. She walked slowly, but with a quad cane. But she walked, and she used to appreciate those lunches. There was a guy, Jim. I'm going to talk about Jim. Was a retired mailman. I met him through a checkoff on a reply card. You know, he asked for more information, and I got in touch, of course, and we started getting to know each other. And he had never married, no children. Brought him close to the organization, got him meeting other people in the organization. That's always important. You don't want the relationship with your organization to be one person deep. And he ended up leaving over $1 million in an IRA to that nonprofit. Very generous. So yeah, the plan-giving relationships, they're meaningful, and they can go on for years, and I hope they do for you as well. So, in the previous video, I talked about sort of the mechanics of getting started and things like that, and the value of the relationships. I'll put a link to that. I will endeavor to put it up here, okay, right now. That's the last video. If you're getting value from these videos, then how about subscribing? Subscribe to the channel. That'll be down here. It's been down here, way down in the corner, down by the plate. Subscribe and tap that bell icon when it's offered to you by YouTube, and then you'll get notifications each time I publish a new video. All right, which happens roughly every 2 weeks. Your plan-giving relationships. I hope you get a lot from them. I hope they bring you the kind of joy that the ones I've had, hundreds, I guess, scores of them that I think about, because some people are closer than others, of course. But I hope your plan-giving relationships bring you the same kind of joy that I've enjoyed. It's a pleasure. It's a privilege. That joy. It's something very, very special. Enjoy.